So this is a momentous occasion and probably long overdue. Have a seat. God, you're almost 90 years old. Have a seat.
I'm still knocking out.
Well, you know, you're on the show.
Give me a little bit of a run for your money, but not.
I still say you could beat me up. I know you could beat me up. So actually, do you want to introduce all the people with you?
My wife Betty,
Beginning with your lovely wife.
and one of my neighbors, McDonald,
Yes, we met him.
my daughter Lynn,
Hi
my
there.
husband, my grandson Jamo, and who am I in the back? One granddaughter, my other daughter Paula, and her husband, and James, who's Kayla's husband, and Eileen, who's a neighbor of ours, and my son Thomas.
You did this just to see if you could remember?
You did all right. You did okay. You seem to remember most of you. Well, I feel like we gotta put on kind of a show with this kind of crowd, so.
Well, we can do a little dancing about it.
All right. So, Jim, I want to start off by asking you for just a summary of what it's been like to be in Stow for this long, and a few words of wisdom, and settle some scores, and do whatever else you want to do.
Well, it's been 67 years. We started with that 10-acre farm, which Betty's father owned, and we cut the trees down, made a farm stand, and farmed it. Now it's the apple field. And then we moved to Hudson Road with 3 acres of land, which I'm so glad I bought. $14,000. Can you imagine that? 3 acres and a house for
$14,000.
$14,000.
I'll give you 15 for it now.
16.
58, somewhere around there. And the Hudson Road was a dirt road. And where the murder farm is, there was a big cellar hole. And so the drunks would come down on Friday night into the cellar hole, and Pa Addy would come down with his cruiser, the station wagon, haul them out, and put them in the, bring them to Maine and cool off for the night. We didn't have a jailhouse or anything back then. And we progressed, we had our children, and I retired at age 62 because I wanted to.
But you haven't really retired.
No, he's still on the payroll, he's been driving the COA van for over 20 years.
Well, and on the farm, I mean, he works pretty hard on the farm.
That's good way.
That's his recreation.
Okay.
A hobby.
Yeah, I can't chase Betty around anymore because I get too tired too quick.
Oh my.
So, were all the kids born here?
Yep,
Okay.
yep. And Lynn, my daughter lives in Switzerland. We've got another grandson that's on his way up now from South Carolina. And they've been there for 30 years. Paula lives right over here on Court.
Yep.
Tom lives down in Gates Lane.
Okay.
No,
Queen.
Queens Lane.
He moved.
Yep.
I didn't even know it.
He's probably nuts.
So I got them all around me. My granddaughter, Kayla, lives up in Clinton.
And when did you first start getting involved in the town government? That was
Oh,
in the
I think I told you the story a long time about. We were married in 52 and I got discharged in 53, maybe 55, 56. They started their first board, industrial board,
Yep.
to see what we could do. Well, our tax rate was, we pay $75 a year, property tax. 75 bucks a year, unreal. And, but all the guys on the board were farmers. We had,
Sure.
and I won't mention any names, but, the reason they formed that, because Genrab wanted to move into Stow where T&L is. That's something about Atlantic, Industries, whatever they are, research is across the street. They wanted to move in also. Wow, I said, you guys, you should sign this up. I said, make the rules, and they were willing to do anything. He said, nobody is touching our land, our hallowed land in Stow. So they rejected, they built right on the border. You can take one step off the border and you're in the property. And that was back in, I think, 57, 58. So I stayed with them long. There was a couple other small industries that wanted to come in and they just threw them out. And I said, what's the sense of having an industrial board to make the town a better place? And at that time, 495 was just being talked about.
Right. That's what really changed things.
Yeah, 495 was being talked about, and of course, that was about a 5-year project by the time it got done.
Yeah.
And, other than that, I got involved with a COA because Betty pushed me into it.
Wait, Betty.
Is that true?
Thank you, Betty.
And, what's her name, she lived down, her daughter was over at the house yesterday.
Langley. Joe Langley. Joe Langley.
Joe Langley.
Oh, yeah.
She's a distant cousin of mine, and she took me by the head and says, you get down there, they need you. Well, we had a junky old bus. I mean, there was a rattle trap. So we finally talked the town into going to the state and getting a decent bus, and it just expanded from there.
Yeah.
And then I was on the board with Pompo, the
Yep.
first board.
Which was-
With the needs committee to see what the needs of the town were.
Which was like 7 or 8 years ago, it's hard to believe.
And Bill came up with the idea of making a community center out of it.
Yep.
And which was great, and it's worked out fine.
Well, you scared me well enough, so I better come up with something.
Well,
I scared you?
you were a good advocate for something that needed to be advocated for.
Well, I just wanted that so bad I could taste it.
Yep,
And,
but you got it.
and we got it. And the only thing I hold against it, you don't list who's in that building. You don't wanna sign out this as COA, rec department.
I think I've heard this before.
I checked you out a couple of times. But that's how I was still friends, so.
Well, look, I don't wanna monopolize this, but
Why not?
I wanna give the rest of the board a chance, but I have to say, we don't celebrate the 90th birthday of just anyone in town. Many people do this year, but, it's really a combination of your birthday, a life of working really hard here in Stow, and civic involvement. And that combination is pretty unique. I have to say personally, I've really enjoyed my interaction with you. You've been fun, you've been challenging, and I know at the end of the day, we're always friends.
Yeah,
And it's been a lot of fun. It's been a lot of fun.
all right, thank you.
Other members of the board? Tom?
Well, that's it, I'd say I've probably known Jim about 25 years now, but one of the things that I really, really respect about him is that we don't have to agree, but we can have a great conversation, and as you said, we can part friends. There's not nearly enough of that in the world right now. And, Jim and I have had a few conversations that we kind of walk away from occasionally, but the thing is, the next time we see each other, and I think we both listen. So he's helped me grow as a person, and, I know that he's listened to me when I've had something to say, and I very much respect the way that you handle yourself, and you are a true gentleman.
Thank you.
Tom?
The words, two words come to mind when I look at you for obvious reason connection, semper paratus.
Thank you, sir.
It's the, I was in the Coast Guard a while, and well before you, but after you. But I think that the embodiment of the training that you got as a young man with embodying those words means always ready, being ready for anything that life throws at you. That's what you were trained to do, and you
I
were.
still bug my wife because
Shut her.
Oh, come on.
I said, if we get ready to go somewhere, I'm ready to go. If we're supposed to be there, no, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. No,
Yeah.
let's move it, move it.
But but I know I'm very grateful for the service that the knowledge, world life skills that I
And I was
then.
involved in the greatest rescue in Coast Guard history,
Yeah. And,
down off of the Cape, and that was quite an experience.
right, that was, yeah, the one the movie was about.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, well.
yeah, Lifeguard
China Stow.
Channel, yeah. So I just wanna say, thank you for everything you've done on behalf of,
You're
and for all the veterans too. I know it's near and dear to your heart for
Yeah.
veterans' activities in
Yeah.
town, so thank you very
Every
much for
time
all.
I go to Bedford, I bring back a bunch of books, and I tell these guys, if you don't wanna use it, don't use it, but go down and sign up. That's all you gotta do is sign up, and you'd be surprised, at the programs that the VA provides.
Mhm.
Even if you've got money, or if you're poor, if you're hot nuts. And they've got a rest home down there, and a soldier's home, just like the highest quality hotel anywhere. Built-in swimming pools and bowling alleys, and they just renovated on how many millions they spent down in Bedford. So I'm a strong advocate of the VA, and I've given a couple of talks of, when our agent, Mr. Jacobs was there, and, trying to push some of these guys around. And the old school digs in, we don't wanna be a burden to anybody. I said, you're an idiot, I said, you're not a burden. I said, you put your time in, and you've got your hurts.
Mr. Burke, you wanna add something?
My godson.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what you said after that.
It makes you the godfather.
You're my godfather, I'm not sure, I'm your godson. When I was growing up in the lake section of Newton, or near the lake section of Newton, and I would get down there, I heard a term that was used, humani respetate. It means a man in his community who is respected and who gives respect to that community. Jim, besides all the personal guidance and information you've given me about Stow, you have provided our community with so much help in so many areas, and it has earned you so much respect. There isn't anyone in Stow who doesn't respect you. And we're very proud that you've given your time and your commitment to our community, and we're very glad for your respect.
Well, you know I love this town. There's no other town like it in the Commonwealth. That's all I got to say.
Nothing but respect and many happy returns.
Well, thank you.
Amen.
Ms. Fresher, anything you wanna add?
Mr. Sauta, I'd like to say that going to town meeting years ago and listening to you speak at the microphone inspired me. I loved going to town meeting, and it's why I've gotten involved in town politics. And thank you.
Some of it rubbed off on somebody, see?
On all of us.
So it
Can I
is
say
a tradition.
one
Oh,
more
yes,
thing?
of course, I'm sorry, Bill.
I did want to say that it's uncommon for a devotion to purpose that you've had over decades. Many people, many in this room, have donated time for community service in the communities that they're in, but it's uncommon for it to go for decade after decade after decade. That's a devotion to purpose, a single-mindedness that you don't find in people today, and that's a tribute to your character. And the old saying, person's character is their fate.
That's right.
Your fate is based on that character, and so
Thank you.
I've been pleased to be here for 20-something years.
I remember your first day coming in and want to hear a funny story.
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
about
Yeah.
very
That's what we
good.
got. I wanna give a-
I didn't mean for it to provoke a memory.
The town meetings were over at the school, at the auditorium and the cafeteria, whatever. And it was his first day on the job. And they had a little anteroom where they had coffee and soda and stuff, and he's standing there and he's visiting. And I says, who are you? He says, I'm the new town administrator. And you meet the little voice.
I told you, he's scared.
First day.
So he got up on the stage and the microphone, nobody could hear him. So he went down, I said, Mr. Wrigley, I said, you gotta speak up. I said, nobody could hear you. Oh, I said, I didn't wanna be over strong or overbearing or, on my first day, I said, well, they can't know unless they hear you, you know? But after that, I got to know him better, man, he can come right out and.
Yeah.
Or you cured him.
Well, that story was worth the price of admission. So for those of you from out of town, it's a little tradition for the Stow Board of Selectmen. On notable occasions, we do a certificate of appreciation or a little proclamation. I have to thank Phoebe Habercorn of our office, who was very good at writing these. And I want to read the proclamation that has been drafted in your honor. Everybody settle in, this is a bit of a long one. On this 11th day of June 2019, the Stow Board of Selectmen hereby expresses its sincere appreciation to Jim Sauta for many years of dedicated service to the town in various capacities, most notably to the Council on Aging. Most recently, Jim served as member and chair of the Pompasiticate Building Committee, and he continues to be a dependable, valuable employee of the COA as van driver and volunteer. Since moving to Stow in 1952, Jim has aptly demonstrated his commitment toward the betterment of the lives of Stow residents. His willingness to give so much of himself to our seniors exemplifies what makes Stow such a special community. Jim's level of dedication is a true benchmark for all of us to follow and live up to. Through the years, Jim personally helped get vans for the COA, but his most remarkable accomplishment was his relentless energy and time trying to find a new home for the COA, which came to fruition at the Pompasiticate Community Center. On behalf of the entire town, and particularly the senior citizens of Stow, the Board of Selectmen want to thank Jim and wish him a very happy 90th birthday on June 14th, filled with good health, happiness, and enjoyment with family.
Thank you.
Mr. Burke, do I have a motion?
As liaison to the Council on Aging, having worked with Jim for many years in that role, I move to approve and sign the certificate of appreciation for Jim Sauta that the chair just read for his many years of dedicated service, not just to the Council of Aging, but to this town.
Second.
Motion made and seconded to issue a proclamation in the form just read. Jim, I just want to say thank you on a personal level for all the advice you've given me and all the help you've given me. I look forward to much more.
You know, it's been my pleasure and honor to be a citizen of this town. We've been all over the world, and I can't find another place that I would like to live in and put my roots down in. From San Diego to San Francisco to Seattle to Australia, Hawaii, they're all nice to visit, but there's no place like home.
I think we still got another 20, 30 years in you.
Yeah, and it's been
Too
an
long.
hour. Wait a minute, we haven't voted yet. We haven't voted yet.
We gotta see if it's gonna be unanimous.
This might be close.
You don't know enough to quit.
You'll celebrate
Go
another
ahead.
birthday before
It's
we.
been our honor to have you here. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And that was unanimous. Thank you, Jim.
That was it, that was
I got a picture, Jim, with you and Jim.
Why don't you all sign it and then we'll do it before.
You're not getting a picture with Bill?
Yeah, why don't you give it to him? Why don't you give it to him?
Mr. Meek Bill.
After all this.
You can't believe it, I have chew them out. But you open your mouth.
So you actually made him what he is now?
Oh,
Brought him out of the shade single-handedly.
Is that good or bad?
That's great. Bill,
Wait
why
till
don't you
he
move over
retires.
so the clock isn't part of the picture? Just get a plain background.
Yeah, good.
There you go.
Look up there.
Oh, boy.
Beautiful. Thank you.
It's the Jim and Jim show. All right.
Good job, Jim. Thank you.
Boy, this is gonna have to go up in the mantle.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
And thank you to your whole family for coming out. We really
Family
appreciate
and
it.